Back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen. Today we've got a reading for you about somebody who is in a long-term relationship, and there seems to be some problems that are not being dealt with in a mature or responsible way. We've got the Runaway card. Now, this could be, just to clarify, we could have a story where, someone is trying to work with their partner to deal with the fact that they've had like a teenager run away, right? But this seems to be, for me, a little bit more so saying that we have someone who's in a relationship or has some, responsibility or obligation to this relationship, but they are not doing right by it. So let's see which course it takes. We'll call on Spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Hello, April. Hello, Stephen. How we doing? If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. I think we will start with the Noisy Tarot. I don't remember what its real name is because for so long I've called it the Noisy Tarot. But I think you can find it if you look up holographic tarot. All right, what else do we have? Good morning, Joaquin. How are you doing? Nahidaya? I probably said that wrong. I'm so sorry. I might have to ask you, though, to please make sure that you are commenting in English, because I don't know what that says. Hello, Lemonade. How are we doing today? We've got the Four of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and the Six of Swords. Well, I kind of like that. Maybe I shouldn't. But we've got three different, right? Like Pentacles, Cups, Swords, and 4, 5, 6. Progression. Okay. So there's been someone keeping a secret, and I feel like they are dealing with some guilt, regret because of the Five of Cups, right? This is somebody who's looking back on the 3 cups that have spilt, not realizing that there are still 2 upright cups behind them, indicating that there is some hope or, maybe even a new connection. This is someone who's real focused on what has gone wrong. I do feel like there could be some depression, overwhelming sadness, frustration. Knight of Cups, Page of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. Okay. This could be about a third party with the Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. It kind of feels to me like there is this question of, is this relationship actually the right place for me to be or the right person for me to be with? And am I potentially missing something that I'm supposed to be pursuing because of this relationship? I feel like we could have someone who's saying, okay, you know what? I don't think this is going well. So if I get, a job offer in a different city, then I'm just going to take it. Okay. So making major life changes, such as where someone lives or where they work, because there is something that seems unsolvable in a relationship. 9 of Swords in the reverse, 3 of Pentacles in the reverse, the Hanged Man in the reverse. There's nothing to salvage in their mind. This secret or this information that has come out and made someone feel like the relationship is no longer something they want to invest in. It feels like a worse betrayal because they had so vehemently defended this person, right? Oh, I can trust that person, or, I know they're really on a business trip or whatever it might be. So I think that's part of the reason we have such a serious response, because it feels to me like someone is packing up and leaving. Like, I found out that this was true after you promised me it wasn't. So now that I know that you were willing to lie to me about that instead of actually like work on it, I've been able to come to the conclusion that you are not somebody that I would actually want to give another chance to because I can't trust you, right? Hello, Duncan. How are you doing? I do the general reading for about 30 to 35 minutes and then take personal questions with priority to those who tip or donate. You can also donate a membership. Thanks for watching my back, April. And lemonade. Yeah, this is an argument that I think someone just felt like was unnecessary. You know, we've already talked about this and you told me you weren't doing anything, or you told me I could trust you, or you told me that you figured out the financial problem. Whatever it is, this is like, but you did it again. So what good is it talking to you about it when that hasn't caused any change so far? Maybe the only solution is to walk away. So I feel like the Ace of Swords in the reverse is you lied about something that I asked you about multiple times. So I don't really feel like there's any need for any communication. Like I'm just gonna be gone. King of Pentacles in the reverse. So this, remember, this is a general reading. This could be you messed up the finances, or you spent the money that you said you wouldn't, or, you know, you didn't give up that expensive hobby, whatever it is, or you weren't a faithful partner with the King of Pentacles in the reverse. Remember, this does not have to be talking about a man. The King of Pentacles in the reverse can be a woman just as easily as a man, right? This is the Waite-Smith or Rider-Waite. What else do we have? Good morning, Rachel. How are we doing? Three of Pentacles. Three of Wands in the reverse. Ten of Swords. I think there is a workplace affair in this story. I think someone's deciding to walk away from a relationship that is quite serious and probably has been, you know, something they've invested in for years, because there's something they have uncovered regarding a work associate or a colleague. Notice that in the Three of Pentacles, we got somebody with an actual flashlight looking at two people, right? Unexpected betrayal. I didn't think that you would lie to me about what you were doing with regards to, you know, your coworkers, or what that happy hour really was. For others of you, this Three of Pentacles is talking about, you didn't tell me about, you know, your financial situation. You didn't tell me you got fired. You didn't tell me that you know, spent $20,000 in a day, you know, whatever it is. This is like, this is not tolerable, not okay. Deal breaker. Hello, Ty. How are you doing? It's cold here too, although it'll be much colder over the next several days. So I'm going to try to enjoy today. It'll get up a little bit warmer. Hello, Amy. How are you doing? Hey, Vinny. I doubt that, but hey, thanks for trying to like make me worried about it. We've got the Lovers in the reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself here, but it feels we have somebody who's very adamant that whatever you did, we already talked about it, or you already told me that you weren't doing that. And now that I see that you're willing to go back and gamble, or, you know, you got fired, so now I have to pay for everything, or, you know, you were hanging out with somebody that you shouldn't have. So that offer, or that hope that I had that things could work out well with the situation, not anymore. And I do think that there is this this Knight of Cups, to me feels like a different Knight of Cups from the other one. This feels like, okay, so maybe I've been telling a company that has been trying to hire me, like pursuing your specialty, right? That I wasn't available because I couldn't move. But now I'm open to it. Now I think I'm going to look at the other options. I feel like this is more so about living or work situation, but I will also say this could be someone who is ending a relationship where they didn't feel like they could trust their partner. and then going back to somebody else or pursuing someone new. I feel like more so this is about like living situation, job, that kind of thing. 5 of Cups in the reverse. I'm not going to stay and wonder what could have, you know, been done differently, or did I need to say something differently, or are you going to change next week, even though you haven't changed for the last 6 years, you know? This is someone who has run out of patience. I'm just over it. I'm fed up. I feel like I tried, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. 8 of Cups in the reverse. 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. Returning to old behaviors, creating instability or toxicity, being dishonest. These are the reasons, whether that's because of, you know, money management or oh, I don't know if that's appropriate. Can I say that? Can we say genitalia management? Will I get in trouble? Stay tuned. We'll find out. This person was messy, financially or romantically. And as a result, we have what seemed to be happy, loving situation being kind of rejected, and someone instead saying, you know what, I can create what I need for myself. I can be happy on my own. I don't need to be in this relationship. So even though we might look at the 10 of Cups and the Ace of Cups as, oh my gosh, you're totally in love and you probably, you know, want to have like a million babies, sometimes the Ace of Cups is about how you feel about yourself, the love and respect that you show yourself, even when it's not present in a relationship or a connection in your life. The ability to remember your worth and to have those boundaries, and the ability to walk away from someone who doesn't respect those boundaries also looks like the Ace of Cups, right? Hello, Andre. How are you doing? Hello, LBC. Hello, Morning Star. What's up? Good. I'm glad you believe in yourself. You should. Hello, Erin. How's your day? We have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, 5 of Wands in the reverse. So, and the Empress. This is why I'm saying it could be financial or it could be loyalty issues. The Queen of Pentacles comes out in the reverse for this, right? But I'm showing it to you in the upright because this is somebody that you could, you know, take home to your parents and introduce them, right? This is someone who is a great partner, but this is also tied to financial stability, abundance, things like that. When we have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, this is not a trustworthy person where it concerns loyalty and probably communication, but also money. So maybe for some of you, this is both items were a problem, but it's one, at least one of them if this is your reading. And no longer wanting to argue, having some time to be introspective about it and realizing maybe this is the end of the road because I have things that I want to be working on. This Empress is not necessarily indicative of a woman, right? Because it is more so saying that we have somebody that is capable of finding a new place to live, getting a better job, or, you know, taking out a loan if they need to. This is someone who's saying, I don't need to be in this relationship in order to be happy, so I think I'm going to keep it moving. Let's get a few from the Energy Oracle. Hello, Ray. How are you? Oh, I hope that changes for you. What else do we have? Door to personal healing and happiness, and the Goddess of the Moon. So, you know what? I started off not really liking this person who's running away, but I don't know if I can really say that this is somebody who's technically ghosting, because I feel like they did make their needs or, you know, what needed to happen very clear. But I do also think this is somebody who's capable of like disappearing into the night, you know? If we had a great relationship for a long time and then things started to change, or you decided that you didn't really need to show that respect or that love, then I feel like this person's realizing that happiness and that personal healing, it can't be found with that partner, with the King of Pentacles in reverse, because you can't rely on that person, right? They did come through as the King and the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, because this is somebody that has let you down or broken promises, failed to do what they said they would. So whoever you are, Empress, the person who's walking away, I do feel like you are walking into abundance. This person's been holding you back. It's great that you gave them a chance. Don't give them too many chances. You are meant to have a really positive impact on the lives of the people around you. And this person makes it difficult, pure and simple. Why? Because they put you in a bad mood, or they risk your financial security or the security of your living situation. You are meant to do something pretty amazing. And I do feel like this pivot or this change in your life is going to put you on the right path for the financial security and the romantic partner that you are meant to have in your life. Yeah, that's fair. That's also fair. All right, so here's the deal. This relationship ending and you're walking away from somebody that doesn't know how to be a good partner to you, it's going to impact your money. You're like, gee, Carmen, thanks. Are you the master of the obvious? So when I leave somebody who's bad with money, I have fewer financial issues? Yes, exactly that. Because this person isn't going to hit you up to pay, you know, their half of the bills or their half of the rent. This person isn't going to suddenly tell you that, you know, oops, I forgot to pay the rent. This is someone who on some level has impacted your ability to make money or has tried to spend your money. It is holding you back. Beyond that, for most of you, I also think this is somebody who has not been respectful towards you as far as that loyalty or fidelity. But your money improves, and it could be because there's a new job waiting for you. All right, this is the Tattoo Tarot. Hello, Jamaica, how you doing? Hello, James. You're funny, April. You know, I think there's a lot of people that are going through that, right? Can I do this on my own? You know what? Yes, I can. And I'll probably be in a better mood because I won't have to have the same argument over and over again. We have the Chariot in the reverse. The Ten of Swords in the reverse and Strength in the reverse. See, the thing is, it doesn't matter how things look from the outside as much as most people would say it does. If people feel like they should stay in a relationship because it makes them feel better about what they've achieved in life, and it's not because you actually want to be with that person, then, you know, I would ask that you reconsider your priorities. I think you, whoever resonates with this Empress energy, you realized that no matter how much you put into this relationship, no matter how much you forgive this person or look the other way or talk to them about what's important, it don't matter. This person wasn't learning. You cannot make up with extra effort for their lack of effort. You know? What, do they need you to like brush their teeth for them too? Tie their shoes? I don't know, man. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. I think this person has a bigger financial failure around the corner, and you are not meant to be around to help with that. Maybe that sounds heartless, but I'm sorry if someone is that bad with money and they expect you to constantly fix their problems, then they probably do need to have a little bit of like a reality check. So your sense of urgency here, you may not necessarily know that it goes beyond some company wanting to hire you or some perfect living situation having a timeline. I feel like for some of you, your intuition is telling you this is going to be something that gets worse, or this is going to be something that probably will just like snowball. And I don't really want to put up with that. King of Wands in the reverse. King of Swords. This might be a little uncomfortable for you, and that could be why for many of you, you just decide to walk away. There's no need for an additional conversation. But I do also think you know that this is going to be somebody who tries to make it seem like you're a bad person for not having that other conversation. So just be prepared for that, right? Excuse me. Oh, thank you, April. And let me write that down for you real quick. Will a new job be long-term, or should I stay at the old job? Or should I stay at old job? I got that for you. Thank you, April. And we're at about 21 minutes in. Thank you. Hello, Nat Nat. How are you doing? Hello, EOST. How are you doing? So we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse, the Knight of Cups in the reverse, Judgment, and the Moon in the reverse. Look what the cat dragged in. Okay. I don't even want to touch these cards. Gross. This is going to be somebody whose like worst side comes out after you walk away, because again, they were counting on you to be like the fixer, right? I make the problems and you fix them. I spend the money and you pay the bills. No. So they're going to try to make it seem like you did something maliciously. You know, knew there was a big bill that we're both responsible for. Maybe it's like property tax, right? And you dip right beforehand. You know that I can't pay rent on my own, and now I'm going to have to move too. They want to vilify you, even though the action that you took, whether it's moving out, divorcing, breaking up, whatever, maybe you were the only one with a car. They want to make it seem like what you're doing is an attack on them, as opposed to making sure that you're not in a relationship where you feel like someone's using you. Three of Wands and the Emperor. Page of Pentacles in the reverse. I see you bossing up. And the people who want to judge you for leaving an unhealthy relationship can... You know what I really want to say, right? But YouTube won't let me. F them. Oh, I'm sorry that you're mad at me for not being willing to stay in a toxic relationship just so you all can feel better about your toxic relationships. I don't know, man. If there are people who want to make you feel bad about this, or who feel like you could have handled it in a different way, okay. I also think you could shower more frequently, but like, I haven't been telling you that. I also think that you have a horrible taste in music, but like, I let you live. You know, like, I'm sorry. I didn't know it impacted you that much. I didn't know I needed to like apply and get your approval before I make major life changes. Ooh, I'm buying some boots later today. Did you want to pick them out for me? Like, don't let them influence you. Hello, Feroz. How are you doing? Hello, Paxton. Thank you, Nat Nat. Let's see what we've got for you. David's thoughts on friendship. No contact. I got that for you. Thank you, Nat Nat. Hello, Saima. How are you doing? Hello, Rick. Hello, Tom. Yes, exactly. Being loved versus micromanaged. So we have the NPC. This is A Gamer's Ways, by the way. The NPC, often ridiculed for its simple life, is always exactly where it's meant to be. Never assume you know what manner of being ambushed by archers they've lived through. Their stable demeanor betrays nothing. So This is saying people might be quick to judge. People might want to tell you you did things wrong, or you jumped to conclusions, or you should help someone out. And I feel like the right move is to just kind of have a little bit of a barrier or a wall between you and the people who want to tell you how to live your life like this. Is it important to understand the reality, read the room, and probably also be aware of people's opinions? Sure. But should you live your life off of them? No, because something here, they're trying to get other people to influence you to make the wrong choice in your life. So it just kind of boils down to intentions. Dialogue options. Oh, sorry, I have to write this down. Thank you, Amy. Should I reach out to Matt, or is he going to reach out to me? And why did he unblock me? That's weird. Why unblock but not say anything? Man, that's about as unbold a bold move can be. Dialogue options. A good conversation is the result of good judgment. Being able to hold attention for both emotion and context leads to more positive outcomes for all involved. If you're facing a decision, you likely already know the best answer. This is why you didn't need to have another chat with this person. Like, what I had talked about or what they had promised to change, they did again. So, like, what else do we have? Especially if you had made it an ultimatum, you know, like, if this happens again, I'm gonna have to leave. I don't know. Is that an ultimatum? Game over. If you think about it, life is kind of like a series of mini games. You can't get too used to the way the game is played. Everything is temporary, including whatever the situation was. Let yourself be excited for what's next. Because you got abundance coming in. We had the door to value card. We had door to personal healing and happiness. And the cornucopia card. Like, hey, if you have to choose between a toxic relationship and, you know, the fruit of the loom, I think the choice is obvious, right? Shout out to the people who know what I'm joking about there. Don't tell me that that was never their logo. I'll fight you. All right, and then we also have quick time event. You probably want to relax through this outscene after defeating that powerful foe. The fight took a lot out of you, but the developers know that there's still fight left in you. Let's test your reaction time. So there's this initial, like, moving out or divorcing or ending the relationship era. I feel like that takes a lot of energy, regardless of, you know, the variety of situations you all could be facing. But then after that, we have somebody who's trying to start some gossip or make things difficult for you in social environments, in a workplace or with regards to family or friends. Because, quite frankly, they're mad you left. You're supposed to pay my bills. Am I? Am I really? I don't think I signed anything that says that. They want to make you out to look like the bad person because they're hoping that that would result in you still fixing their problems for them. System of a Down? Exactly. Hello, Michelle. How are you doing? Exactly, Lemonade. Hello, Lee. How you doing today? Of course. And where are we at? We're right about to be at 30 minutes, so I'll pull a few from the Kipper and then start those personal questions, okay? Yeah, and I mean, why should you have to share in your harvest, right? With somebody who wasn't pulling their weight? You know? So we have adjudication and imprisonment in the reverse. I feel like for many of you, if this person decides to bring this up in a courtroom, probably more applicable for those of you that are going through a divorce or if you're dealing with a particularly litigious ex, This could be somebody who wants you to be on the hook for paying rent. This could be somebody who wants you to pay alimony or to pay them for the TV that you took. But I don't feel like they're going to get their way. I think there's going to be a lack of a binding contract or a lack of like substance to whatever this is. They're going to try to claim that something should have been a gift or that you should, you know, pay for something. And I don't think that anybody's going to agree with them, whether that's a legal situation or just like court of public opinion. So we have this journey card, again, kind of pointing to somebody moving or maybe starting a new job. This is the courtship card, can be about an agreement. It doesn't have to be about dating, but it could also mean that when you move to this new place or start this new chapter, there's someone who actually wants to treat you the way that you deserve to be treated. This is why it's so important to end the relationships that you know are toxic and not salvageable, instead of kind of like 5 of Cupsing it and hanging out like, well, maybe they'll figure it out next year. Maybe. So we have someone who's thinking about what comes next, thinking about that next chapter, getting excited, and being comfortable with the fact that that other thing had to end. Hello, Alexander. How are you doing? Did I say hello to Matt? Oh, yeah. Sweet Pea's one of those that kind of like lives in my head rent free. Oh, I hope that goes very well for you, Michelle. Good luck. Hey, that's fair, Paxton. You'll probably find some people who are absolutely happy to commiserate or to give some advice or to just listen. There's some awesome people in the live chat. So we do have this Lovers card, and I think that for some of you, this person is going to try to say that you are ending this relationship abruptly because you wanted to go off and be with somebody else. And for some of you, this person is going to end up being proven a hypocrite because they were actually involved and there may be proof of that. But they keep trying to make you out to be the problem or make it seem like you owe them for something because this person doesn't know accountability. If they knew how to actually accept the consequences for their own actions, then they would probably just shut up and sit back and be like, ugh, I guess I kind of deserved that. Should have seen that coming. But you know, sometimes that's not very easy. All right, let's get started on those personal questions. We're going to go with the Soul Cat Tarot for April. Yes, exactly. It really is. That and authenticity are probably the top 2. So for April, will the new job be long-term or should I stay at the old one? Will it be long-term? I don't think there is a large chance or a majority chance of it being a long-term opportunity. Is this saying it will get additional opportunities after that? No, I think the 7 of Cups is saying there's something here that's kind of murky. So the example that I would use because of, you know, what I've done as far as work, I would look at it as we want, you know, like a consultant or we want a contractor because we don't know if this contract is going to get renewed with this major customer of ours. If they renew it, then we would probably renew your contract. But if they don't need somebody to work on that account, we can't justify having that many people on the team. It's something like that, right? So 3 of Swords in the reverse, Knight of Cups in the reverse, the Wheel in the reverse, and the Sun. So this is saying there would still be good things about this job, but would it be long-term? I think there would be a little bit of risk there. And with the Wheel in the reverse, I do think that there are some negative industry issues or you know, if it is specific to a client, there are some concerns there as to whether or not that would be renewed, and then you could be kind of frustrated. The problem is with the staying at the old job, stay at the old job, yes, but keep looking for other things. Because I do feel like you lose out on the money that you are meant to earn if you stay too long at the current place or at the old one. So still work towards a transition or, you know, that new chapter, even if the one that you're asking about as far as the long term, even if that doesn't totally like fit the mold of what you're looking for, there might be something else that does coming up here shortly. Hello, third eye. How are you doing? Yeah, I think this is saying it's good to see what other options are out there. The new job would be potentially a problem down the line because it doesn't have that long-term element. And the current one is also not something that should be seen as long-term because you are losing money by staying there. Aw. I hope it gets better for you, third eye. Let's see what we've got for Nat Nat. This is the Wild Reflections Tarot. What are David's thoughts on the friendship that has gone no contact? What are David's thoughts on the friendship? Seven of Wands in the reverse, the Four of Wands, Nine of Wands in the reverse, Judgment in the reverse. This feels like someone who feels like they made a mistake, Judgment in the reverse, didn't act the way they should have, feeling like this was a missed opportunity or a failure. But this is someone who trusts you and feels like it would be nice to be friends again. It's just there's this conversation that has to happen. And they don't know how to do it. I don't know the right words to say, so I'm just going to be upset over here. King of Cups in the reverse. So disappointment, frustration, and like a lack of direction on what to do. Hello, Mr. Black Eyes. How are you doing? Hello, Kumar. Hello, Manolo. So Nat, I wish you luck on that. It does look like there's a need for maybe a little bit of healing for this person individually before they can understand what needs to happen between the two of you. And next we have Amy. This is the Morgan Greer. Should I reach out to Matt or will he reach out to me? Should Amy reach out to Matt? Yes? A lighthearted communication that doesn't ask for too much back. Kind of, you know, I hope things are going well for you, but not asking too many questions, right? Like, hey, do you have time to get on the phone and talk about this? This person might not answer at that point. But just kind of like a light, friendly touch point, like, you know, if it was their birthday, hey, I hope your birthday went well. Or, hey, I know your birthday's coming up. Hope you have a great time. There's something here where you can say something lighthearted. It doesn't require a response, but it's just like a, I'm thinking about you, you know? Or would he reach out to her? I don't think he will. Why did he unblock but not say anything? Is he in a relationship? I feel like he's worried he's going to upset somebody if he talks to you. Like, maybe I'm not single and my partner would feel this is disrespectful. Maybe I want to connect with you, but only for like a night. This is somebody who knows that there is a reason to not reach out to you. And it has to do with their intentions. So is it best to just let the situation lie? Yeah, I feel like if you reach out, you might get some temporary satisfaction or feel like things are on the right track, but it doesn't change their intentions or where they are with regards to their healing. And with the Three of Cups, I feel like this is somebody who is still for the streets, or this is somebody who just wants to have this like quick meetup and feel better about things and maybe even try to like kind of keep you in the back burner, but not really approach things the right way. So my personal vote is, if you want to have communication, you have to reach out to this person, but I don't think they're ready. I think they're still a half-cooked burrito. They need a little bit more time. Let's see what we've got. Amy, I wish you luck on that. Let's see what we've got for Lee. This is the Weird Cat Tarot. You're welcome, Amy. Sorry if you keep hearing squeaking from my boots. Hello, Bradley, how are you doing? I'm trying to see what you said. Oh, well. All right. So what do we have for Lee? Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. That means a lot to me. Lee, we've got the Seven of Pentacles, Temperance in the reverse, Queen of Cups, Five of Wands, Three of Swords in the reverse. Is this about older daughter? I feel like you're going to, in the near future, hear from your older daughter. This could be about some sort of travel or, you know, hey, could you give me a ride? But I do think that there is some instability that is increasingly difficult, and she needs that like supportive energy. But with the Five of Wands, it's like, I know that we're not exactly on good terms. So I feel like this is someone who's realizing, if I miss my mama, then maybe I need to like talk to her. So I do think that this is contemplation on, should I reach out? Should I have this conversation? Should I work towards forgiveness and letting this go so that we can have like a better relationship? I feel like this is softening, right? Like, you know how you're supposed to put the butter out so it softens before you like bake certain things? Like, she's putting the butter out. She's like, okay, I know it's gonna have to happen. I gotta have this conversation. It would potentially also be about her children with the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. Yes, this could be, hey, you buy stuff for my kids, that's great, and I don't want to risk that. But I also kind of feel like there's this, like, you know, maybe I've been a little bit too harsh and made it difficult for my kids to know their grandmother, and there could be some regret setting in on that. So there's some change or disruption to how things have been, and I feel like it changes for the better in this relationship, even if it's slow moving. The important thing is that butt is softening. So making progress. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. Thank you for hyping if you are able to, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.